Hello, welcome back to Auto Pop Culture. Today we're going over the Sydney-based band called Sticky Fingers and their fourth album called Lekkerboy. So this band is one of my favorite bands. I love I love all their albums so far, and it's been a complete ride to watch them grow and also watch them be so consistent with their sound, but also slowly adding new sounds to it. So it always feels like it's new, but it also feels familiar. So you're never leaving your fan base. You're not you're not isolating your fan base, but you're pulling them in while pulling in new fans, which is pretty great. So this band is really amazing. It's been a very interesting kind of arc to watch them talk about stuff, that especially with the lead vocalist Dylan and his addiction and his mental health as well. And after they released their third album, Westway, which came out in 2016, there's a lot of shit going on, and there's a lot of bad shit that happened with Dylan, and that was a time for them to kind of figure out how to get him help and how to kind of move on with their band and kind of refocus. So they came out with Yours to Keep back in 2019, and it was much more emotional because it talked about it's Dylan coming back after being hospitalized and all of these things are happening to him, and pretty much just talking about his remorse and how is he feeling and what he's been through and what's going on with, and how his actions affected his band, himself, and the people around him. And I think that it was very, very interesting to see them in that vulnerability, in that vulnerable space, to see them in this space where they said all those things, and then they took even more time to kind of figure out this album. And now we're back with this album where it gives you a blend of their old sound, where they're kind of upbeat and light, mixed with keeping that momentum of Yours Truly, where it's just okay, I want to continue being vulnerable and talking about this because this is a very, very important topic to talk about. Addiction and mental health is a huge important topic to talk about, especially when your lead vocalist is going through all of it, So I feel like in my mind, I felt like they were thinking, okay, let's mix those two together, blend those two together, and still talk about this because it is a subject that is definitely being picked up by a lot of the fans. They want to know, and I wanted to know what's going on. So in this album, they have a album cover of the Sydney icon named Danny Lime, or Lime. This one, he pretty much an activist, a Republican, a politician who basically had a bit of a controversy here and there, but he's apparently, a lot of people like him, and he was elected to the Strathfield Council and did some good things there with a couple of controversial stuff too. But apparently he's very, 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 very known and named as an icon in the Sydney world. So his face is literally the front picture of the album, which is pretty cool. And I like the upbeat kind of colors. So I'm going to go over this album. It's going to be going over the full album. So it's going to be a long video because I really love this band and I really want to kind of break down what they're talking about, because there's topics that they haven't really touched on entirely before, that they go in more deep, that either they haven't touched on and they're touching on it, or they touched on it lightly and now they're going on deeper into it. So starting with the first song, My Rush. This one is about Dylan fighting against his addiction, and it's a very creepy song too, scary song according to the band, because after the song was recorded and done, he pretty much, that same night, Dylan overdosed and was hospitalized after the recording. So, and before that happened, he did a lyric in the song said, saying, I could wake up in the war dripping EpiPens. And it scared everybody inside the room, and they're like, oh God. But it was so good and so raw that they kept it. So having that happen, having said that, and then having the overdose happen right after, pretty spooky. So, but yeah, I think the song, as much as the song is pretty dark and is one of the darkest sounds that they've done, or production that they've done too, it is so refreshing to feel that, like, just feeling of what he's feeling. He's mostly talking about how he's just going down a rabbit hole, and just how this stuff is just, it's tough. And he knows that he wants to be able to get out of it so that he can keep making music and spreading love like he does with his band. So yeah, it's a good song, but it has a bit of a dark background to it. Napalm is okay. I think it was one of my least favorite songs off the album. It's pretty much just talking about him missing his lover, or past lover, and pretty much it is mostly just piano and guitar. Lekkerboy is a really, really good song. This one has this one's what I mean when I mix the sounds of Yours to Keep, where they kind of cool it down a bit, mixed with kind of Yours, or Caress Your Soul, and Land of Pleasure, where it's kind of more upbeat and much more kind of in your face. They kind of blend that with this song, and I really like it. If you're wondering about Lekkerboy, Lekker is pretty much I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but it's a Dutch term, slang for cool or tasty. Tasty first, but slang into, oh, that's cool, or cool. So you hear, apparently they heard a lot of that, people in Amsterdam just saying that a lot. And this song was pretty much, this song is wrapped around Amsterdam a lot, because apparently after, during a couple of days where Dylan was kind of gone, they went around Amsterdam and did that, and was partying everything, woke up to Dylan standing there with a tattoo on his belly, pretty much saying Laker. And he was like, do you like it? And of course they didn't like it, but they said they did. But they grew into it over time. So I think that's the nod to this situation. But it also still talks about the addiction and him being just over it, just tired of it. There's a couple of lyrics I like. I relapse, they climb. I fall, I dip. Hope I pronounced this right. Durium wasted. They say so. They say so, I say no. When he says they say so with a question mark and I say no, I feel like what that's saying is they're saying that maybe some people are not really looking at the idea of, they're not really taking his addiction seriously. They're like, so where's the music, kind of thing. And maybe that's why I feel like they're saying. And then it goes into, he talks about maybe I should take it slow, and just maybe I should kind of take my time with this, because this fast life kind of was one of the factors into this of why I became an addict. And he's like, and one thing I do like, he says, there's no such thing as perfect security, only varying levels of insecurity, which I completely agree to. I completely agree with that. I feel like you're never not insecure in any space. I cannot remember a time where I felt fully secure, like there's nothing that could ever happen. Like, I've always had a thought in my head, I was like, what if this happens? What if this happens? Or if this thing fell apart, that would be the end of my security, kind of thing. But pretty much him just talking about how he's over being an addict and he's ready to kind of just move on from this. Going into Save the Day is a very interesting song. This song talks about the idea of, well, on surface level, it talks about the idea of writing a song for a girl only to realize that she doesn't even like music, or she doesn't like his music, or doesn't like music or understand it. So he's like, fuck, I wasted a song. And he's like, wasted my song. She don't get music. That's all I got. So, yeah. But the deeper situation about this is more about confronting your past and coming to terms with it and understanding that the way that they explained it was that they combined the idea of writing a song for a girl, but not understanding why that she doesn't like it, and definitely not into him. And you realize is that there's a lot of past that this narration has, and that could be the reason why he's not really being like that. This girl's not taking any of it. And there's a part he says, "I look back at the reruns, I was acting like a dog," and I think that space is a great example of what I mean. It's just he takes a minute and steps back. He's like, okay, let me look back at what I've been through, or how I've been before. And it seems like I was pretty much a dog, and doesn't really fit in her space. So yeah, the part I did not get is offer my wisdom. She can't support it. Whipping Willow. She knows I'm on it. Offer her wisdom. I can't afford it. I don't really entirely understand what that means, other than like yeah, actually, I don't know what it means. If you do know what it means, comment below and tell me what you think, because I feel like I have some idea, but not really. Going to the next song, which I also really like, is the saddest song they've ever done. Pretty much about a breakup, and it's about the idea of, and it's called Love Song, which is funny. So, Love Song pretty much talks about the idea of, it's pretty much about the breakup, and it's the idea that it seems like he's bouncing back between the space of, I think he ultimately doesn't want to break up, but he also is trying to balance between the space of, okay, if this is happening, I will respect it and move forward with it. But if it's not happening, I definitely want to that's something I want to move forward with as well, because there's a part where he says, it's the right thing, feel the tightening, if you're gone, I'm already there. And then he goes, it's the wrong thing, feel the tightening, all the love lost, I know it's there. So yeah, so it's a balance between like, if you're going to go, then sure, I'll respect that. But if it is the wrong thing, then I would like to point out that there's still love there. There's still love there. If it's the wrong thing to do, then there's still love there, kind of thing. And in the beginning it says, won't cut you loose yet, we're digging out a home, pretty much saying I don't want to let go, we're already making a future for ourselves. Although my lines don't change, although my lines don't change, you're set on breaking it off. So her mind hasn't changed. She's set on this idea of breaking off the relationship. But yeah, originally, this was supposed to be more of an upbeat tempo kind of sound, mixed with sad lyrics, which is what they usually do. But apparently, their producer Tara's decided to strip it down, and I think that really makes it. I think it leaves space specifically for the emotion, and it lets the emotion sit. And I think that's so good. I love that thing. I don't like when emotions are there and then you get cut off because it's too intense, Let it sit. And I'm glad they did. We Can Make the World Grow. I thought that was okay. Lupo the Wolf. It's a great song. The music video is super funny and creepy as well. I'm surprised it would be perfect to be released in October. But this is a great song. The song is complete essential Sticky Fingers. It's great. The music is great. The production's amazing. The song's about it feels like it's a kind of mix between a bar fight and a mob hit kind of thing. And maybe it's a guy in a redemption story too, because maybe the Sicilian person is in this situation, and it starts off by somebody getting shot and killed, or getting shot in front of the bar. But then it says the Sicilian gonna come again. Another made man southern head or southern hand. I write so sloppy. So, but yeah. So this song's pretty much talking about it feels like all three of those things I said, like mob hit, just a random bar fight, or gunfight in the bar, or redemption where gets shot, he comes back to take on these people again. But the song is really great. Where I'm from, a complete kicker. I was so surprised off of this. Where I'm from, I thought it was going to be about like them talking about like Sydney and where they're from, and don't forget your where you're from before and stuff like that. But no. This song feels like, because I didn't really see any insight about it, but this song feels like it's about a friend who's thinking of suicide, but they are trying to talk this person down from it. So there's parts there's a really great lyrics in this. Like there's a part, I'll start with the lighter ones first. So it goes in the chorus where it says, lost in the way for a day, not tomorrow, rusted away holidays. It's pretty much, he's pretty much going in the space of the person and saying that this person is just really lost in his head. And in this moment of today, like today is shitty. Today's been shitty. He's feeling depressed in this today, but he's pointing out, he's like, but not tomorrow. So it seems like he's saying that this day took a full on toll on this person. And so now they're thinking of suicide, but he's trying to tell him, it's like, he says, which I love this lyric, just because you're helpless and abandoned doesn't mean it has to cost your life. Then it goes into, if all you feel is goodbye, say goodnight. So it's pretty much saying, it's like, don't kill yourself off, don't kill yourself, don't make your life don't waste your life away, or don't kill yourself because you feel helpless and abandoned. Like, it's not fair to take your life because of that. Pretty much trying to talk him down, and he says, see you in the morning, and tomorrow, if I can get you home in time. Pretty much he's just talking him down, and it's like, there's a better tomorrow, there's no reason to kill yourself in this situation. Try saying goodnight instead of goodbye. Like, as in, like, shut down your day. Just take some minutes to yourself kind of thing. And then he goes in this part, which took me a while to understand, but it says, hookers and bandits, they got the best haircuts. Don't fall in line. So it seems like what I'm saying, what they're saying is, I don't understand entirely, but I feel like it's saying, like, there's hookers and bandits, they have a rough life. They pretty much have to kind of really build themselves, but they have iconically the best looks and the best, like, you see those kind of like outlaws with the cowboy hats, and it's black, but it's really cool, and the beards and the hair, and it's just like, they always have some type of standout style. And I don't really know if that's saying, like, but they're still making it through kind of thing. So maybe he's saying, like, these people that live life dangerously have their own, like, have the best haircuts. So in that space, kind of do you. Don't let the world tell you who you are and tell you how you should be. Don't listen to that. Listen to what you want to be, what you want, find happiness in your own lane, not trying to be like other people or fall into the societal norms that people want you to be. That's my guess. Crooked Eye, I thought it was okay. I do understand that this was written throughout their career, throughout their career, they struggled, but they finally figured it out. It's about the struggle, the band struggle, and how much they love each other too. I feel like it gets very, very metaphoric, a lot of metaphors, a lot of like pieces that come out and then go back in. Reason I haven't connected with it because it feels like it's too many. There's a lot of things I haven't really dissected down. Maybe if I listen to it more often, I might get it. Smoke Rings. This one talks about the possibility that he's in a relationship, but for some reason he's still wanting something else. He's still wanting more and more something else. And at the end of it, he pretty much tells himself, he's like, because at first he's like, I killed to find what's already mine. I'm still deciding, don't know why, when you're beside me, holding tight. And then it goes in, but he tells himself, in a dead of night, come come break out your cover. That love in your, there's love in your life. Don't, oh my God, I write so sloppy. It's insane. Excuse me. There's love in your life. Don't waste for it, or don't search for enough. Pretty much, don't search for a new one. I don't know what the hell I written down in that one, but don't look for a new one. You have it. What you're looking for in life is right in front of you, pretty much. Another Day Now. This one is very interesting. It's a little like kind of low key R&B production, which is something I never thought they would do, but it works. It really does. And this album adds more runs to his vocals, so you definitely get it. Fits really nicely. Don't know what the song's about at all. So comment below if you do. Queen talks about the idea of this lover who wants to break up. He doesn't want to break up with her, but he understands because she's tired of his ways of kind of just like he's tired of kind of his ways, and so she's like, she says, it's been a long time. Now I'm moving on. I'm sick of trying. So, yeah. Pretty much straightforward. And there's a part that he says, he's like, I don't know where to begin. Was it when I lost it and pulled her house apart? Or my friend that she got with right back in the start? So either she cheated in the beginning of their relationship, and so he's balancing, he's like, where did I lose this? Was it when that happened, when she cheated, or when I completely just lost it and ripped her fucking house apart? And that wasn't really good. Either one wasn't really great. So one was a fault on him, one was a fault on her, but it seems like he still wants to keep going and she's kind of done with it. Multiple Facets of the Same Diamond is a very, very last song. And this one was actually took a deciphering kind of phase because apparently Dylan wrote the song and they're trying to understand what it means and trying to pull it together and produce it and everything. And they're going through what Dylan written down during a lucid dream and all these type of things. But I feel like it's saying that we are all, as much as we are different, we are also exactly the same. We are multiple facets of the same diamond. There's a part where he says, you only get one run around the sun, so better make it count. You aren't the only one. A lot of other people doing the same thing, trying to make it count. And then a vision that I see in my head is multiple facets of the same diamond, one of a kind together, or one of a kind. Diamonds are one of a kind, but we are each side of the diamond is a different person. So you can tell that you're different, but at the same time, you're still part of one diamond. So we're one of a kind, but we're all in it together. I love hearing those kind of things. I do believe in the idea that we are, as much as different as we are connected. Everybody's connected in some way, and I think it's completely true. And I love that ending to this album, to that song. I think it's really nice. I give this album, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Just because some of the songs I didn't really understand what it meant, so it kind of threw off my groove of this album, but it's still a really good album, and I definitely recommend it. Leave a comment below, tell me what you thought about the album. If you like it or didn't like it, let me know. If you have some insight about the album itself, let me know too. If you like this album, hit the like button and the notification bell, and subscribe too if you like it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next video.